Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hollywood Sports, the most authentic sports channel on YouTube. Hey, guys, I got a quick tip for you as far as team tendencies and how to maximize simulation gameplay as far as NBA. And what you want to do is go to game plan and go to coaching sliders. And as you can see right here in coaching, you can change them defensive settings. But right here in coaching, you can see at the top of the Timberwolves, run plays frequency is 95. Zone usage frequency is 3. Bench depth is 10. Bench utilization is 75. Lineup performance factor is 24. And that's basically what I go by. You only need one number to go by. So lineup performance factors are 24 for the Timberwolves. Now, if I back out and we go look at this, we go to Spurs. Or was I already in there? Okay, let's go back. Let's see. Let's go to coaching sliders again. Okay, yeah, it was the Spurs. Okay, the lineup performance factor is 24. Okay, because it says right here Spurs playbook. Now, if we back out, go back to choose size. Let's go to the Timberwolves side of things. And we go back. Coaching sliders. Now, as you can see, it's a 39. Lineup performance factor for the Timberwolves is 39 and the Spurs is 24. So every team is going to have their different numbers. Okay, like run plays frequency. Run plays frequency for the Timberwolves is 85. Go back to the Spurs over here. And run play frequency is a 95 for the Spurs. Okay, each team has their own coaching numbers. Okay, again, zone, how much they use the zone. Their bench depth, how much bench they use. Bench utilization, how they use their bench. Each team on how they use their bench is very important when you're bringing guys off the bench. And again, lineup performance factor. And the reason why these numbers are so important because they're there. As you're playing this game, if you play My League or you're playing the CPU, My League, My GM, don't touch those numbers, guys. I'm gonna show you the numbers that you need to change to get team specific. Doing their own thing. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to option. You go to CPU sliders. You know, if you do a slider set, you can go to use a slider set. But I'm not really going to change the sliders. We just go to CPU sliders, and you just put it on simulation. You know, this year's with 2K15 game, man. You put it on simulation, you'll get a good simulation gameplay. But what I wanted to show you is down here in tendencies. Okay, you got attributes and all that. But the tendencies is where it's at. Okay, we're in tendencies. As you can see, it's set for simulation. Game style. Okay, now, where it says take inside shots, take close shots, take mid-range shots, they're all 50%. Which means you know, over the back fouls, those are different. Tendencies are all 50%. What you want to do is to get team specific the way they play, because if you leave those at 50%, every team you play in My League or My GM are going to play exactly the same because they're set for all the teams. But if you take inside shots, you take all these sliders and put them down to 0. I'm not going to do it now, but take all these sliders and put them down to 0. And based on the coach sliders, remember the performance usage, the zone usage, on how they use their bench, those numbers are different. You will let those numbers take over for each team. You just take all these these tendencies sliders and put them to 0. So you let the coach tendencies take over on how they play zone. And each team you play in my league and my GM will play differently. You know, some teams will take inside shots, you know, maybe 10% of the time. Some teams going to be taking shots 20% of the times. Mid-range jump shots. Depends on what team you play. Some teams will take more mid-range jump shots. Some teams will do more post shots, going down to the post. You have those teams that take a lot of three-pointers, you know, a lot of three-point shots. So if you put it on 0 and you base it on the coaching sliders, each team will play different. So you don't develop a pattern. You can say, well, the CPU, they always do this. Every time I play a team, the CPU does that. But if you take these tendencies and put them down on 0, every team will play different, and then you can expect a different outcome on how you strategize on playing the Knicks. Then you play Miami. They play a little bit different. Then you play the Lakers. They play a little bit different. Then you play Portland. They set more screens and pick and rolls. More teams might be doing back cuts. One team might be doing more threes. One team's like to start running down in the post. So take all your tendencies and put them on 0. Because when you get back here, the coaching sliders, those are the numbers that's going to determine how the team plays. Okay? So if you take the tendencies and CPU sliders, and you go down to tendencies, and you just put them all on 0, man, every team will play exactly different. I mean, differently. They won't play exactly the same. Trust me, guys. Take your tendency sliders and put them all on 0, and every team will play different based on their coaching sliders. All right? Let's go back to the coaching sliders one more time. Right here, based on their run plays frequency, how they run plays, their zone usage, their bench depth, the bench utilization, how teams use their bench. Basically, these numbers are different for each team. Lineup performance factor is the one, though. Lineup performance factor, every team has their own number. So take the tendencies and put them down to 0, and each team will play different. That's why they call it coaching, because every coach has their own style. Every coach wants to run their offense a certain way. Every coach wants to run their defense a certain way. So put the tendencies down on 0, and every team will have their own tendencies on how they play. And then you can't dictate the CPU and say everybody plays the same, okay? And then it'll be more challenging for you when you play the CPU on my league or my GM on simulation settings or Hall of Fame or whatever you want to play. You will get a different experience based on the teams you play, just like in the real NBA. I hope that tip helped you guys. And as always, until next time, everybody, if you clicked on this video, I really appreciate it. I don't care if one person watched this video. I really appreciate it. All right? And thank you for watching Hollywood Sports.